We are going to remake a jungle nymphs enclosure. Once again, a video with a bit different angle, but only for this first section of the video, because I want to make a background for the jungle nymphs enclosure, and we need to do it on the ground because we are going to use expanding foam, and I will explain everything, but I need to do this video over the course of 2 days because of the background. So first let's check out how the enclosure is going. Actually, it is better for me to use this camera. So here it is, the jungle nymphs enclosure in all of its glory, or better to say a lack of glory, because it's really simple and basic. Nothing special going on, except these live plants that are here only as food for the jungle nymphs. So we have a male here. He is a lovely fella with, you see, a bit of anger management program, but I think everyone would just get pissed off if someone just randomly pokes it. And here is the female. Also huge anger management problem, ouch. Actual spikes on their legs, ouch. So the enclosure is okay, I mean, nothing special going on. If you remember, I introduced a millipedes inside, a rainbow millipedes, but with time they all died. I'm not sure if they were just getting old, or probably it was my fault because I didn't replace this cocoa fiber substrate, and apparently when they digest the cocoa fiber, it shortens their lifespan. And also, you know, we have a wolf spider here, and it is actually here. And look at this. I can tell you that this is a female because it got egg sac on its back. You see? Down there, that's an egg sac. Come on, move. You see that white thing? And over there, it is its burrow. It created a burrow for the egg sac. Before that, it was just roaming the enclosure, not hiding at all. And now it's actually sometimes using that hole. And also we have one other animal inside of this enclosure. Look, it is a hissing roach. The only one I have left from this species. So I decided to just put him inside. Oh, he fell and cannot get up. Oh, it actually can. So yeah, there's also a roach inside. So what I want to do, I want to remake everything, make actual background, make a drainage layer, and complete bioactive setup. I will remove that wolf spider, and we will add the headlight roaches inside. So this will continue to be a sort of a communal setup. But first, we need to make a background. So let's start with that. There is one special reason why I decided to actually redo this enclosure. I will actually test if I can apply dry substrate directly to the expanding foam. Because, as you know, if you remember, this is future chameleon enclosure. And you see, we have huge area here, and I need to make a huge background, actually backgrounds, because I want to have background here and background here. A lot of work, so I thought that maybe I can just apply a ton of expanding foam to the styrofoam sheet, and then while that expanding foam is still sticky, just dump dry substrate on it. So that way I don't need to carve everything and apply silicone over entire area, just a ton of work. I'm kind of convinced that it will work because I already saw, a long time ago I saw a video where guys doing vivarium backgrounds like that, just directly applying the substrate to the expanding foam. But just to be sure, I want to check it out on a smaller scale, so that's why I will use this opportunity to actually make a background for something. And also this enclosure begs for a remake. So let's just jump into it. In the middle I will also put this piece of corkbark tube. It won't be really useful for this setup because I cannot put live plants inside because jungle nymphs would probably destroy everything. But in case once they are gone, I house something else, I have the option to put live plants inside of this corkbark. So that's the reason why I will have it. And also it will look more prettier. There is nothing really special to it. I just put it... I need this camera. I just tilt this down a bit so you can see what is happening here. And also this camera. I will probably do some sort of time lapse of whoa, skill catch. I will probably do some sort of time lapse of expanding foam. Expanding foam, expanding. Unfortunately, I never used this brand, so I'm not really sure how much it will expand. We will need to apply and see. And one thing, if you are doing something similar, the fumes are actually harmful. So you should do that outside. Let's do it. Okay, let's now see how much it will expand. Actually cancel that time lapse. Not sure what is the time frame of this foam being sticky, so I will not risk it. I know that it stops being sticky after some time. Now we are just dumping the substrate, as we always do. In case you're wondering what I will do with the places I missed, like these parts and these parts, I can just patch the holes with silicone and more substrate. It's not the problem, it's only important to finish the bulk of everything. You can easily come back and do some final touches. But the most important thing that I'm also figuring out now, how much exactly this expanding foam will expand. So that way I will know if I need more or less substrate. Okay, we are set now, time dump. Now, I don't think that this expanding foam expanded too much. It looks alright. Some parts are still exposed and I will need to fix that with some black silicone and more substrate, but let's clear this and see what we got. Messy job as always. Honestly, I'm not really satisfied how this is looking. If this was a black expanding foam, it would be good. But since it's whitish or yellowish, I don't know, you can still clearly see it, probably because it expanded more after I dumped the substrate, so that's why everything didn't catch on. It actually appears like there is some sort of sand on it. And you can't really tell that this is actually an exposed expanding foam, but I don't know. I think I will actually leave it. Let's take it to the table and see what will we actually do. Yeah. Now I see that expanding foam actually bent the styrofoam a bit. That shouldn't be some big problem. And you see these parts that are going over the edge of styrofoam. I will need to cut those because otherwise it won't fit the enclosure. So let's first do that. And then I will bring the enclosure out, get all animals outside and see how it fits inside. Yeah, that's what we will do. And once it is inside, we can add some black silicone and fix stuff. I measured everything so it actually fits the enclosure. So that's why we need to cut it. The table will once again be in terrible mess. But that is to be expected when you are doing this sort of stuff. At least it's really easy to cut the foam precisely. There. It should fit now. Let's get the enclosure. Thankfully this enclosure is not really that heavy. This will take most of the shot. Let's get the animals outside. You will have to look at me through this door. Actually it will block the sound, maybe better like this. Surprisingly, I don't have enough space on this table. First we will take jungle nymph male. He is being calm at the moment. Here it is, the little guy. He doesn't really want to show off his wings at the moment. Where can we put you? Can you grab here? Can you hold? Okay, sorry. Something temporary. A piece of bark. Actually, you can hang on me. Not a problem. Let's get the female now. Now she will potentially kick my ass. Ta-da! Here is she. Looking pretty alright. We will... Ow! Ugh. She grabs really good. I will just leave her on this piece of branch. Now we don't need this anymore. I almost squished the roach. Forgot that he's on that rock. Dirty glass. Now roach. Alright, yeah, I know. Come on, hiss so people can hear. No, he's not into it. This is actually a food dish for the roach. We need to get the spider out. For him I have this actually for her and... Hey! Oh! Don't fly! Come on! There we go. Don't go far. Come on, come down. Stop there. Easy. There she goes. Now also the thing that I almost forgot. The substrate is actually filled with eggs. Their eggs. So we need to gather all of that from the substrate. Let's see how many eggs will we gather. 2, 3, 40. I think I passed 50, but I kind of lost track. Okay, I definitely lost count. Let me see. Approximately. Okay, there is 78 if I counted correctly. That's a lot of eggs. A lot of potential jungle nymphs. But don't get too excited because the incubation period lasts from a year to year and a half. So a long time before we see this one hatch. We just need to put them on the good place. Now let's take the substrate out. There, all clean. This is huge, and better if I turn it like this. Ugh. Just when I wanted to say I hope the doors can support their weight. I will need to reglue them definitely. Buy the dark den enclosures. They don't break, unless they break. Okay, it fits. Even too much. I have huge gap here that I didn't really want it to have. But overall, you cannot really see it. It looks alright, I think. Now, what I'm going to do, I will first connect this background to the back of the enclosure, and then I will fill this gap with more expanding foam. And we will also fix the parts with the silicone that we need and leave it to dry until tomorrow. Then tomorrow I can continue working on this. Now the expanding foam, if there is any inside, what? There is some, but not as much as I thought, and it is also clogged a bit. So as you see, it is going out really, really slowly. There we go. Now what spots did I wanted to fix with the silicone? But if I start with one, I need to fix everything. And I'm not sure if it's worth it. I don't know. We will leave it like this for now. It won't be the prettiest and it won't be as I imagined it, but sometimes you need to compromise. So another time jump. I did some stuff in between. Up here you could easily see the styrofoam, and I covered it in black silicone and covered it with substrate. So it looks good now. Down here I already put the drainage layer, the clay balls, and also the mesh that will separate the substrate from the clay balls. And here I have everything prepared to finish this enclosure. The ingredients that we need: a mixture of substrate, springtails, glass of water that is camouflaged, I will talk about that in a moment, leaf litter, a piece of wood, roaches, one branch of this plant that jungle nymphs eat, and jungle nymphs inside of this enclosure. And that is everything that we need to finish this enclosure. So let's get to it. First, the substrate and the springtails. I showed this colony in my last video, and I will just dump the whole colony inside together with the substrate. Now this substrate is alive and bioactive. This substrate is my standard mixture that I used in majority of my enclosures that have live plants and a lot of humidity. It is a mixture of cocoa fiber, sphagnum moss, orchid bark, charcoal, leaf litter, and some pieces of this white decaying wood. So in the end you have this nice mixture that supports everything, even though we won't be able to plant any plants in this enclosure because of the jungle nymphs. They would probably eat it and destroy it in the process. And I also asked Daniel, the tarantula, then he was bragging that he got ton of isopods in his communal enclosure. So I asked him if he is willing to ship me some of those isopods, and I see now that he answered that no problem. I will also add those isopods into this enclosure once they arrive. So thank you, Daniel, in advance. Now, this, one explanation. I don't know the English name for this. I think it's blackberry plant, but this is the plant that jungle nymphs eat, and you need to cut the branch and put it inside of their enclosure so they can eat it. But in order to last longer, you want to put it inside of the water. So that's why I had, if you remember, glass cups inside to provide water to the plants, but they look really bad. So I put it in the corkbark tube, so now it's kind of camouflaged. And I also put this rubbery thing on top, so that way roaches cannot fall inside and maybe drown, I don't know. And it will also help with evaporation. So we will just put this into this corner, and we can proceed to dump all the substrate inside. Let me spread it a bit. And you see, I wanted to put it on the actual background to make it a bit more detailed. Do you agree with that? And also I forgot to put this. I have this piece of wood and it will be awesome height for roaches. So I want to put it somewhere, something like that. And I have this piece of branch that I will actually just pluck into the background. Since female jungle nymph is pretty heavy, this live branch is not able to support its entire weight. So that's why I need to have something additional stronger. Oh, there we go, looking good. Now, even though I won't be able to put any live plants besides this that they eat, I think it still looks natural enough thanks to these branches and wood and everything. So this green stuff, actually we will put this at the end because we have leaf litter. Nothing without the good old leaf litter. There, now it finally looks appropriate. Finally. This can now really be called new jungle for our jungle duo. Sweet! Do you like it? I really like it. Even though there are white spots there, it doesn't really matter. It still looks sweet enough. Now let's introduce roaches first. Yeah. I have them in this box. These are some of semi-adults. You see, they don't have the headlight features on them. I think that I have only one adult left. Yeah, only one adult left. These are all semi-adults. All adults died and now I'm waiting for new generation to arise. Go, you have entire jungle to explore. Awesome. And this is adult. And you see why they are called headlight roaches. They have these two yellow dots on front. Go, little buddy. Or gal. I never know. And the rest. Go, go, go. It will be interesting to see if they will breed faster now, since they will have this awesome enclosure. There's the adult. I bet he's wondering, what the hell is happening? Why is there so much space around me? They definitely aren't used to this sort of environment. I'm really glad I can provide that. I will also put that one leftover hissing roach. Even though they are different species, I think they won't really mind. First, the male. Go, go, go. Oh. Is this branch now strong? Yeah, it's pretty strong. I think it will support female just fine. We can actually test it now. Hello? What is your mood today? Come on, I have something awesome to show you. You will love it. I promise you. Oh, she figured it out. Let's see now if it's strong enough. Yeah, it can hold her without a problem. She's climbing over male. Hey, don't go outside now. You have a lovely enclosure. Why you need to go out? Uh-oh. There, much better. This looks so good. Yes. I'm really happy with this. I really didn't thought that it will come out to look so good. And of course the hisser. You can also go and make yourself at home. Sweet. This is now a nice communal enclosure. Let me just spray it a bit. In the future I will probably add another branch like here, so they have more places to hang. I think they will appreciate it. Let's put it on the place. Oh, it is now a bit more heavier than it used to be. There we go. Check it out. It goes so well with Chip's enclosure. And we have frogs here, and when we put another vivarium here and we finish the chameleon enclosure, this corner will be like ultimate place to hang out. You can just sit here and admire the nature. Hell yeah! So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this build video. If you did enjoy it, thumbs it up and comment something. If you want to support this channel even more, there's a Patreon page. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. I upload every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So see you again. Really, the camera stopped recording just as I was about to end the video. So see you again soon. Bye bye.